Hello everyone and welcome to episode 19 of Enigmatica 2 Expert. How are you doing? So today is going to be a very busy day, as you can see. It does not make... oh, it does. Okay, that's good. Today we are going to make the creative power source, and I'm going to need two of them because we need one of them in order to make the creative vending upgrade and we need another one to use it. But we're going to need additional stuff, so let me grab some items and I'll be right back. In order to craft most of the creative items in this mod pack, we are going to need these two crystals from Extreme Reactors mod. They used to drop from a specific ore which used to spawn in the end, but that has been disabled, and in this mod pack we have to craft them. We have almost everything, or we can craft everything we're going to need in order to make these, but we need 3 different ores. So we are going to need Resonant Endstone, Energized Netherrack, and Destabilized Redstone ore. Unfortunately, they do not spawn in the overworld and we have to go to other planets, and that's where advanced rocketry comes in. We need to warp to other planets because with a normal rocket we cannot go to Jupiter and visit Europa. We need a space station. So I was looking at this planet selector and I thought, okay, maybe the planets are unlocked and we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do any research, we don't have to send satellites, and we can just warp to planets. But when you make the warp controller and when you want to search for planets, it says 100 of each data type is required. So we need to make satellites. There are 3 types of data in advanced rocketry. One of them is mass data, composition data, and distance data, which is measured by an optical sensor. We're going to need to send satellites into orbit and gather this information. So how do we do that? We're going to need a satellite chassis. We're going to need some solar panels. I'm using these large solar panels. There are also smaller ones and I don't know the difference. They were cheap to make and I had them on auto crafting when we were making the solar controllers, so I made these. We're going to need some of these data storage units. We're going to need the optical sensor, satellite ID chip, and that's basically it. Then we come to our satellite builder. We put the satellite chassis here. We put the optical thingy there, and then we just put you here, we put the solar panels here, and we are also going to need 1 chip. And if we press build, it will make us a satellite. Our satellite is ready and it will tell you that it has an optical telescope, so we just made Hubble. Hi. We are also going to make another satellite in order to measure composition, so we press build. This one is also done, and we also take the chip because the chip is the only way of communication with your satellite. If you lose it, you basically have lost your satellite. And we also make the last satellite, which is for mass. So you go there, you go here, you go here, and we also need the chip. So, perfect. In order to send our satellites into orbit, we're going to need a rocket engine, then we're going to need some fuel tanks in order to carry the rocket, obviously, and then we're going to need a satellite bay. Then we need to link the fueling station to the... oh, actually, we need to make the rocket first. So we scan it. It's a small one, so it goes much faster, and then we build it. Then we are going to need to link our fueling station to the rocket, also the rocket monitoring station to the rocket. That's also linked, good. Now we need to right click on the rocket itself, go to the satellite bay and put our satellite inside. Perfect. Now this thing has fuel, right? Yeah, it's almost full of fuel and we can launch it. Anytime. I need to sleep, so anytime would be good. Please. I think it's lifting off, yes! Now that our satellite is in orbit, we come to our satellite terminal and we put the ID chip inside. And now you can see that we are connected to this satellite, which is a mass scanner, and we have gathered 3000 data points. So now we need to launch the other 2 satellites. Now that our rockets are gone, we can put the satellite ID chips inside the terminal and receive information. So we put you here as well. Now it will tell us that we have 3000 of one type of data. So if we put it inside this data storage unit, we put it here, we say store to chip, and something should happen. Oh, we should say connect and then store to chip. Yeah, we have 1000 data for composition. So we have all 3 types of data, and I have already sent 3 more satellites before I started recording because I didn't know how to launch satellites, so I had to practice them. Anyway, we're good to go. We just have to go to our space station and start finding the planets. I'll be right back. Making a space station and sending it into orbit is relatively easy. You just need a slightly bigger launch pad, and instead of a rocket assembler, which we're using there for our rocket and also our satellites, you just need a space station assembler. It does not need fuel. What you have to do is that you make the structure that you want on top of this launch pad, and then you are going to need a space station ID chip and a satellite bay. You press scan, and unfortunately when you press build, it's sent into space. So I did not know that. And our space station is right now in Earth's orbit. And I did not record it because I didn't know. So we already have a space station. It's called ID number 1. And we should be able to program our rocket and go to our space station. So actually, before we go, I want to try something. I've read that if you lose this space station ID chip, you can never go back with your rocket to your space station. So apparently we can make a copy like this. I'm guessing it's working. Yep. Now, right now we have a spare one, and if we lose one, we have a backup, so I won't get lost in space. I wasn't sure what we were going to need in space, so I'm carrying a lot of stuff. So actually these are our old stuff. So I'm carrying a lot of dilithium, I'm carrying the satellite terminals and the satellite ID chips, because I think we can assemble it inside the space station and I don't have to travel back and forth here to gather more data. I am taking some building blocks, a lot of oxygen and rocket fuel, as well as extra rocket fuel and, you know, some data that I have already collected. So we should be good to go, I guess. We take everything, I did not miss anything, and now we should program our rocket. So guidance computer, this is for Earth, we don't need you, we need space station. We can go in and we can launch. I think it's working. I'm wearing a helmet, right? Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I seem to have glitched out and I cannot find my space station. I'll be right back. So I made another rocket and this happened. I didn't even know if it is possible. I went to the space station and I glitched out, so I teleported back and I saw this. Can I even remove you? Uh-oh. Oh, can we dismantle you somehow? Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I can do. Awesome. Hopefully third time's the charm, and I decided to make another space station. I tried to keep it simple, so I just basically made the cube. There are no machines inside like the previous one, which of course you didn't see, so I probably should not explain it that much. Anyway, I also added a station docking port, so we can send another part which will be attached in space to this space station, or the cube. And that will be our landing platform, and hopefully next time our rocket will just land on that landing platform and I don't get lost in space. So let's see if this is a valid thing. I also made a satellite bay. We scan you. Output slot blocked. You know, I was going to make another space station and then I realized that, oh, I made a huge mistake. So there is a space station container here and we have to send this one into space. So the original space station that I made isn't actually in space, it's inside here. So we go to our rocket and I think we should be able to put it inside a satellite bay. So this is the satellite bay, you go in there. And again, we go to the guidance computer and I should have an ID chip. Good. We just have to wait for fuel. Third time's the charm, and hopefully this time we have a space station to land on. I can't see it though. That's slightly worrying. Am I falling down again? Oh! Yep, that is our space station. We landed on the roof. In case you didn't know, this is going to be our space station. It looks like an egg. This is the best design I could come up with in like 20 minutes. So, I don't know if inside is breathable, but I can assemble our warp drive. Cool. Alright guys, I made another platform and I managed to assemble the rocket on there because for the life of me I could not remove the rocket from the top of our space station to here. And I went back to Earth, I came back and it was not functioning. So I want to ask you something, that if one day you wanted to make a mod, please make a manual. Please, please, please. Anyway, our rocket is set to go, and I also realized that all the data gathering that we did was for nothing, because if we come to the warp controller, we can select any planet that we want. So for instance, right now we're going to go to Mars because that's one of our destinations, which we will get one of the ores. Our warp controller was not functioning because I assembled this one on Earth. It was not complete. I did not right click for the multi-block structure to assemble. I just put the blocks, and unfortunately it was not functioning, so I had to go on Reddit and realize that you have to remove every single block, put it back again so that it will function. Now that we have dilithium ore inside there, I think we should be able to warp to Mars. Fingers crossed. Something happened. We're there? That was very fast warping. Okay, let's go to Mars then. So we go to the guidance computer and we select Mars. So if I go inside, will you take me to Mars? I hope so. It seems that we have arrived. And there are mobs. Hostile mobs. And it's very dark. So torches don't work. It's fine. Let me see if I can find the ore that we're going to need, and then I'll be right back. Oh cool, I already found it. Resonant endstone. Yes. Good, we can use our digital miner to mine a few. So this will mine me resonant endstone, and it should work. Silk touch is on, good. And you need power. So I went back home and I made some night vision potions. I think we have enough ores. We can go to Venus and gather the other one. Did it fly away? No. Okay, cool. And I already have this thing on our advanced dislocator, so we don't need a rocket to come back here. Destination Mars, no. How do you right click? So Mars comes out, you go in, and we go in, and we go back to our space station. And our next destination will be Venus. Why? Oh, we're warping. Oh, this is cool. So we have arrived at Venus. I like Venus. Let's go and check it out. So we have arrived at Venus and there's a cow. Apparently there's oxygen and it's raining. Awesome. Oh, and there's pyrotium. And in Venus we're looking for energized netherrack. And of course we will use our digital miner in order to mine energized glowstone. Why can't you find it? For some reason that I do not understand, our digital miner cannot harvest energized glowstone. So yeah, we need to do it manually, but that's fine. We just need a few stacks and that should be more than enough. Our next destination is Europa, which I think is a moon of Jupiter. Oh yeah, okay, I was correct. So we select you and we warp. We're warping, right? Okay, cool. And apparently Europa is like Earth. That is weird. So Europa has squids under the ocean, and Jupiter has rings. Cool, I did not know that. So let's go and find destabilized redstone. This seems to be a nice spot. So it says that destabilized redstone ore spawns on Europa. And I couldn't find it. Huh. And also this guy cannot find it. I put a filter for it, but it does not work. So I'm guessing we have to go to another planet. So where else do you spawn? Less than 1%, less than 1%. Stella. 5.5%. That is good. So we go to Stella. I have no idea where it is, but we'll figure it out. So I'm guessing Stella is inside this solar system, and if we go inside Proxima Centauri planet list, can you go in please? Yes, thank you. Stella, yes, this should be the one, and it costs 500 dilithium. It's going to be a one-way trip. You know guys, I do realize that I do nag a lot, but it's been 5 minutes and we're not there. And this looked cool in the first 30 seconds. After that, it's getting boring. And we're not consuming fuel for some reason. I do not understand this. So it has 240 fuel and I don't know. You know guys, patience is a virtue. Just 5 seconds after I stopped nagging, we arrived. That is cool. So we can go and have a look. So I just glitched out and I think the best solution is just to jump into the void, or whatever it is down there. Okay, so there are trees. I don't know what happened to our rocket, and we don't need it anyway, because this is the last planet that we have to go to, and we should be finding our ore. So many trees. So I just realized that the reason that my rocket crashed or glitched out is because of lag, because we have so many trees nearby and so many leaves. So this is the destabilized redstone ore and we just need a few. And I will set a waypoint, we go back to our station and we can go back home, I guess. We don't need anything from any planet. So far this has been the most derpiest episode I have ever made because it was my first time using advanced rocketry and I had to learn a few things. Yeah. Anyway, we are done with advanced rocketry and I think... Where's my miner? We can go back home and the rest of the things will be technical. Oh boy, home sweet home, and I'm never leaving this place again. We just need to process the ores and then we should be fine, I guess. Alright guys, I have a stupid idea, but if it works, it's going to be amazing and it's going to save me a lot of time. So we need to make these crystals and their recipe is very complicated. We need these crystals in order to make the creative items. You know, it's used in every single recipe in huge numbers. So I don't want to make them. And I realized that if we go to our quests and hand over an awakened sharpening kit, they are the rewards. Maybe there is a possibility that we can duplicate them using UU matter, so we would only need one. Let's give it a try. We just need awakened cores. So if we come to the part builder, we can make a sharpening kit. Yes. Oh, it's a choice reward. Ooh. Okay, we take the second one because this is the more complicated one. Okay, moment of truth. Can you scan this? Nope. Crap. So we're going to have to craft these crystals, and I'm calling them crystals because I don't know how to pronounce them, and they might be crystals, they might be bottles, they might be ores, they might be a frog mutated by yellorium. I have no idea. So we're going to start with the yellow one because that's the easiest one. We just need all the crystals from Ender.io, including a sentient ender. We are already making the end crystal from Ender.io, and I think we can use the same setup. We just need different spawners and a few more soul binders. Let me gather some stuff. Let's start with the Prescient Crystal because I think it's a combination of a vibrant crystal and a shulker. Good. we can use our setup here and get one shulker. I made a powered spawner and it's set on capture so that it will give us shulkers in a soul vial. And now if we put an item conduit here and set this guy to extract, you to insert, it will put it inside the soul binder. And now what we're going to have to do is to just provide this guy with experience, which I'm going to provide it from our experience obelisk. So we put you to extract and you're on insert. So are you out of XP? Nope. So maybe if I just put you, yeah, okay. You have to put the crystal before it starts working and that will give us the crystal. Great. And of course we also make a pattern for this guy and put it inside the ME interface. I made another one for villagers and this should give us the enticing crystal. For the sentient ender, we are going to need witches and I couldn't find one. So I believe that if lightning hits a villager, we should have a witch. Yes, and he's dying. Cool, we have one. Good, we have the sentient ender. So I believe now we have everything on auto crafting except the weather crystal, which is just a combination of other crystals. So that's going to be easy. The only thing which is keeping me back at this very moment is experience, because crafting these crystals from Ender.io as well as the sentient ender requires experience, which if you didn't know, we are not producing it. So I'm only going to make 20 of these crystals and then we move on to the next one. I'll be right back. Great, we have 20 of them, and in order to make 2 creative generators we only need 8. We're getting close. One of the things that has been bugging me for a very long time was that I could not use a wireless crafting terminal because making an infinity booster card requires these. So now I have it on auto crafting and I'm guessing we have everything to make it. Yep, we do. That is awesome. So if I remember this correctly, you go there. You get synchronized and I should be able to use you. Yes, that is awesome. And you go here. Good, now we have infinite range. So I made a Supremium pickaxe. This is mining level Supremium. I can't mine it. Why? Huh. Well, apparently an awakened pickaxe did work, so if I put you here and then run far away, will you charge? Yes, this is being charged and that is lovely. I can access my ME system from everywhere. That is so good. Alright guys, my original plan was to make the creative power source today. I was checking on the time of this episode and realized that it's been already 25 minutes, and sadly in order to make the creative power source I'm going to need another 25 minutes because this thing needs a lot of stuff. We need to automate some stuff in our botany area, in our Tomcraft area, blood magic and astral sorcery, and although I can rush and get a few of these items in order to just make the creative power cell, we need to automate them anyway because we are going to need gazillions of them. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut this episode now and we will continue making this crystal next episode as well as the creative power cell. And I was also checking that making the creative gas tank is not even an issue, so maybe we will manage that as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.